Alright, I'm gonna try to do this as quick as possible. NRG quick release. Pull this back here and this will pop off. Passenger side and the driver's side, I put some tape because I've already been scuffing it up. It's like adhesive wannabe carbon fiber, and more or less just to help you finagle the dash pad out when you get to underneath it. The boost gauge is hooked up to the vacuum line coming out the firewall, and the clip on the dashboard harness and the back of the boost gauge is hooked up. The volts does not have any wiring sticking out of it. Gauge cluster is plugged in. Air fuel ratio, wideband is plugged in the back on one wire, and it goes right there. It's already routed in the back of the dash, but I know you're gonna probably want to reroute it or integrate it into the wire harness. And then that's the other one right there. That plug right there goes into the back of that wideband. These are really easy to remove. Just loosen the screw right here, just pull the carbon pod out, and then once the carbon pod is out, you can actually pull the gauge out, along with that one and that one. Can't see it here, maybe you can, but right there, that shiny gold thing is the new Mopar oil pressure sensor. All three of these are the same. What I was thinking for the ignition, say if you know, the key was out and you put the key in and you turn it to ACC, still the whole dashboard would be dead, other than this one right here. And it does have a power light, so I don't know if you want to hook it up or not. I'm trying to be incognito when it comes to people knowing how to start my car. Key into the ignition, turn the key, still no power. Bang, all the power goes to everything. And then I would clutch the pedal and then push to start. I would like that to actually be functionable. I have a watt box here, so I was thinking you could wire these so they're basically just sitting right here. And these, I'm not exactly sure what I want to be hooked up. It would be pretty cool to actually hook up the N2MB, say 2-step and then watt box. I don't know if you can incorporate it. It's totally up to you. Rear defrost, power outlet are still hooked up into the harness. Might as well go ahead and hook them up anyways. I got to get the rear defrost tabs attached to the back of the window. Alright, I popped this off so you could see pretty much what the back of this looks like. So this one right here doesn't have screws. I think those are just like the female connectors that slide on. And then there's 6 screws to these 3 switches on the right. ACC1, ACC2, ACC2. And then you got this one right there, which is the star button. Scan gauge and OBD2. This is another gauge, literally, like, I'm gonna eventually pop it right there. If you could do it so it actually mounts there. You could even put it there if you want to, just literally plug it in like that. I left the glove box open. If you want to look up here, this is the back of the firewall. And that wire right there goes to my wideband. My wideband is literally right behind the firewall. That's my wideband right there. And then that's my firewall opening. And then my O2 sensor is right there, which hopefully you can see right there. You got the power, positive and negative. So literally right there. I do want you to hook up a stereo connector. That way I can go ahead and buy a stereo in the future. I'm deciding whether or not I want to put the N2MB box or a stereo right here and put the N2MB boxes right down here. I'm not exactly sure. Just try and make them long enough that they can be extended down here. Basically push it back behind here and sit down there. Don't worry about these fenders and don't worry about this hood. I just put these fenders and this hood and that bumper on for the ride because it's an open trailer. If you scratch it, don't worry about it. If you nick it, don't worry about it. Just try not to nick the bay. I have already. One time there and one time there. So, you know, obviously. So there's a firewall opening right there. And there is enough room to squeeze in a plate back there. If you do have a plate with the bulkhead holes, hypothetically, the holes don't line up to the plate on yours, try to get a plate without any holes, and you can go ahead and run the wire harness, and I'll go ahead and make my own holes. Water temp, fans, headlights, battery, fog lights. Fog lights won't be hooked up. Obviously I don't have any yet, but if you can run wires for the fog lights, that'd be dope. And then also the side marker. I do not have hella horns on this car yet, but if you could extend the harness, that way it reaches to this, and it could also reach to the middle of the radiator support. Just make some extra slack, don't worry about it. I could tuck it somewhere, even if you gotta tuck some harness into there. That way you can, you know, hide it away a little bit. That way I can just pull it out and put it underneath the frame rail and behind the radiator, and then hook it up to the hella horns. My TIP right here, zip tied to this right here, and my two sensors are right there. There's a sensor right here. You got the sensor still on the master. You got the knock sensor, I believe that is. You got the cam sensor on there. You got the knock sensor on the front of the block. The map, 4 injectors. And that's pretty much it in the engine bay. So I don't think I didn't cover anything. I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm just sending this to you so you can see a little bit of the car before I actually send it out. Oh, also, this right here is old wiring that was installed into my harness underneath the driver's seat, underneath the rug. Not sure if this is part of the alarm management system or whatnot, but I'm just sending this to you just so you could actually check it out and let me know what you think, whether or not it should be put back into the harness. This interior light, I believe it is, the pink and yellow, eventually will be ran, just so I could run some sort of light in here. I still have this interior light too. It's the trunk light, I believe it is. But the harness is ran along the whole wheel well area. And then I got some grounds back there, you can see on the wall. And then my tail lights are hooked up. That's all hooked up also. There is that one gray connector, I don't know what it goes to. I haven't figured it out yet. That's all hooked up. Like I said, I want the rear defrosters to work. Eventually I'll have somebody come in here and hook it up.